Hey friends, here we are at lesson 8 in module 1 for math. This is the last lesson in module 8. So when you come to school on Wednesday, we'll go over it a little bit and then we're going to try to take our first test of the school year. So we're going to continue to subtract. We can see the goal here for learning is I can take from 10 within 100. So now the numbers are getting larger, but we can still use some of the same strategies that we've been practicing. Let's take a look. So to do this work today, you will need your whiteboard, your dry erase marker, some people call it an expo marker, your eraser, and your brilliant mind. You had those very same things when you were in school with me yesterday, and you'll need them for your work today. So if you need to go get them, pause this video, get yourself set up, get yourself ready to work and learn, and then come on back and press play. Here we go. All right, so this is what we did in class yesterday. We're going to do a little warm-up again where we're practicing taking out 10. So I'm going to show you a number sentence. You will take out a 10 to subtract. And remember, when you take out the 10 and you make the number bond, put the 10 on the right side of the number bond so that it's closer to the number that we're subtracting. Let me show you what I mean. Ready? Okay, so here's our first example, 30 minus 7. So I'm going to use the take out 10 and subtract strategy. My first step is to take out 10 from 30. So I put the 10 on the right side of the number bond. This is the left side. That's the right side. So I'm going to put the 10 there. And if I take out 10 from 30, that means I've got 20 is the other part. My next step, you will remember, I hope, or you're thinking about, the next step is to subtract 10 minus 7. What's 10 minus 7? 10 minus 7. Use whatever strategy works for your brilliant mind. That's right, 10 minus 7 equals 3. So now I have 3 left, but I also have this 20 left. So now my next step is to take what's left. And what's left is the 3 and the 20, and I add those two together. 20 plus 3 equals 23. So 30 minus 7 is equal to 23. Good job, friends. You can erase those whiteboards. And let's try another one. I'm going to keep moving along. If you need more time, press pause on the video. If you want to see it again because you missed something, rewind the video. Do what you need to do to help your brain start to get into this practice of this take out 10 and subtract strategy. Here's the next one. 40 minus 7. Step 1, take out 10. Put it on the right side of the number bond. So if I have a 10 in 40, the other part is 30. You are correct. So step 2, subtract 7 from 10, or 10 minus 7. And think about the answer to that. 10 minus 7. If I count up from 7, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, gets me 3. 10 minus 7 is 3. And so 3 is left over. The third step is to add together what's left over. So 3 is left over and 30 is left over. So 30 plus 3 equals 33. Therefore, 40 minus 7 is equal to 33. Good job, friends. Let's keep moving. Or pause if it helps you. How about 50 minus 5? Let's do the take out 10 and subtract strategy. First step, take out the 10. Put it on the right side of the number bond. If I take out 10 from 50, what's left? 40's left. Awesome. Next step, subtract 5 from 10, or think about 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. 5 is left on the right side of this number bond. What else is left? 40's left. So I'm going to take what's left, 40 plus 5, and that's equaling 45. Therefore, 50 minus 5 is equal to 45. Good job, friends. Erase those whiteboards. We're going to do another practice problem. Warming up those brains. 80 minus 8 equals. How about you hit pause, see if you can work this one out, hit play when you're ready, and check your work. So the first thing we do is we take out the 10 in the 80. We put it on the right side of the number bond. There's the 10. So the other part that's left is 70. The next step is to subtract 8 from 10. Or we can think about it as 10 minus 8 equals 2. 2 is left. And the other part that's left is 70. So we take the 70 plus the 2, and that equals 72. So 80 minus 8 equals 72. How'd you do? Is it feeling a little bit better? Is it feeling a little bit more comfortable? Hopefully it is. But friends, I also realize you might have some other strategies that are reliable and that work for you, and those strategies are awesome too. All right, let's think about this. How would you solve this problem? Jacob has 13 bouncy balls. He gives 8 of them to his friend Pete. How many bouncy balls does Jacob have left? This is the question I'm trying to find the answer to. How many bouncy balls does Jacob have left? So I'm going to go back and think about this. Jacob has 13 bouncy balls. He gives 8 of them to his friend Pete. How many does he have left? You can press pause here and think about solving that problem and then do it on your whiteboard. And when you've done your work and solved it whatever way makes sense to you, press play again and we'll think about some strategies together. So let's talk about the way you solved it. Now, friends, this is tricky for me to do because I'm making you a video and you might have many different ways that you're solving this. And we'll go over a couple of them together. I may not do your way of solving it in this video, but that doesn't mean your way doesn't work. It's just that I'm only going to cover a couple different ways. So one way you might have solved it is you might have thought about 13 and 8. And you might have thought about what connects 13 and 8. And maybe you thought that you knew the fact that 8 plus 5 equals 13. So 13 minus 8 equals 5. 13 bouncy balls minus 8 that he gave to his friend means he would have 5 bouncy balls left over. Maybe you just counted up from 8 on your fingers. You thought about 8 and how do I get to 13? And you used your fingers and you counted up and realized you had 5 more fingers. Maybe you drew a picture of 13 circles to represent the 13 bouncy balls. And then maybe you crossed out 8 of them and counted how many you had left and you saw 5. There's lots of different ways to solve this problem. If you got to the answer 5, whatever way you got there was the way that got you to the answer. Let's just try this let's try this by doing the take from 10 strategy, because that's the strategy we're practicing. So 13 minus 8, if I do the first thing, I take out the 10 from 13 and I put it on the right side of the problem. So if I put the 10 here, then the other part of 13 is 3. That's step 1, take out 10. Next step, subtract 8 from 10, or 10 minus 8. and I know that 10 minus 8 equals 2. You know it too. So then the third step is to take what's left, and what's left is a 3 on this side plus the 2 when we subtracted 8 from 10. So 2 plus 3 equals 5. So therefore, 13 minus 8 is equal to 5. That's solving that problem using the take from 10 strategy. So let's think about that problem one more time. The question was, how many bouncy balls does Jacob have left? Well, what does this 5 connect to in that problem? 13 was the amount of bouncy balls Jacob started with. 8 was how many he gave to Pete. So 5 is how many he has left. He's got 5 bouncy balls left. All right, well, I'm going to change the problem up and see if you can solve it this way. What if Jacob has 23 bouncy balls instead of 13 and still gives 8 of them to his friend Pete? How many bouncy balls will Jacob have left? So you can pause the video, do some work on your whiteboard, and see if you can solve that problem. So 23 bouncy balls, 8 of them go to Pete. What does Jacob have left? Pause, do your work, and then we'll share together. So let's talk about the way you solved this one. Again, maybe you thought about 23 and 8. You might have put the 23 on top of the 8 and subtracted that way. You might have counted up. You might have drawn a number line for yourself. You might have drawn a picture. There are many ways to get to this answer, my friends. And as long as we're getting to the same answer, those different strategies are helping you get there. So they're working for you, and that's good. I'm going to use that take from 10 strategy and show you how I would have solved this problem using that take from 10 strategy. So of course, the first thing we do is take the 10 out of 23. We put it on the right side of the number bond. And then I have to think about, if I take 10 from 23, what's left? Well, 23 is a little bigger number, so I got to think about this. If I take 10 from 23, another 10 would get me to 20. 10 plus 10 is 20. And then 10 plus 3 is 13. So the other part of that number bond is 13. So now I've taken out the 10, and I'm going to subtract 8 from 10. 10 minus 8, we just did this, is 2. And then the third step is to take what's left. So the 2 is left, and the 13 is left. So 2 plus 13 is equal to 15. So 23 minus 8 is equal to 15. That means that if Jacob had 23 bouncy balls and he gave 8 to his friend, he would have 15 bouncy balls left. All right, we're going to do a couple more just to keep practicing this take from 10 strategy. 43 minus 8. Again, this is getting to be a bigger number here. 43 is a bigger number, and I got to take a 10 out of 43. That's my first step. I put it on the right side of the number bond. So what's left if I take a 10 from 43? I got to think about this. So if I count up by 10s starting at 10, I go from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40. So I'm adding 3 more 10s, and then it's 43, 1, 2, 3. 3 10s and 3 1s makes the number 33. So this is the other part of the number bond. When I take 10 from 43, I've got 33. Next step is to subtract 8 from 10. We've done this. This is the third or fourth time. You know that 10 minus 8 equals 2. And then the third step is to take what's left. And what's left is the 33 on this side plus the 2 from where we subtracted 10 minus 8. And if I add 2 to 33, if I count up, Starting at 33 by adding 2, I go 33, 34, 35 is the answer. So 43 minus 8 is equal to 35. Let's do one more, my friends. I'm going to move us along. Let's see if we can get to a bigger number. I'm going to skip through this 15 minus 7 pretty quickly. If you want to watch it, you can go back and watch it. Let's see if we can get a bigger number than 25 too. I'm going to skip through that one. 14 minus 9. How about 24 minus 9? 24 is a little bit of a bigger number. All right, I'm going to use the try the take from 10 strategy. First step, take the 10 out. Put it on the right side. So here's the 10 from the 24, so I got to count up. I'm at 10, I count up by 10s. 10, 20. So there's 1 10 and 4 1s. 1 10 and 4 1s makes the number 14. There it is right there. So that's the other part of the number bond. Step 2, subtract 10 minus 9. Oh, friends, you know this one. We do this one all the time. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. 10 minus 9 equals 1. Step 3, add together what's left. So what's left is the 14 on this side plus the 1 over here. 1 plus 14 equals 15. So 24 minus 9 is equal to 15. Okay, here's your job, my friends. You're going to go to the Our Math Canvas course. You're going to tap on Tuesday because today is Tuesday. When you get in there, you're going to click on the M1, that means Module 1, L8 means Lesson 8, exit ticket, and you're going to do that. And then you're going to work on the Module 1, Lesson 8 problem set. Only do the first page. Let me show you what it looks like. Here's the exit ticket. I gave you a paper copy of this yesterday, and you took it home in your Lion folder. If you want to do it on the paper copy, get your pencil out, get away from your screen, and do it on the paper. And then bring the exit ticket back to school on Wednesday when you come back. Or, if you prefer, you can do it in Kami. But when you do this, you're going to show me your work in these big spaces. Just writing the answer is good, but it's not enough. Use this big white space to show me how you solve the problem. You can try the take out 10 strategy by making a number bond and showing me the steps. You can draw a picture. If a picture works for your brain to get to the answer, you can do that. Or you can show me some other strategy you're using to solve these 3 problems on the exit ticket. Now, the problem set actually has 9 boxes in it. These are the first 3. I think I mixed these up. Sorry, I don't think I'm showing you all 9, but there are 9 boxes on the problem set. See how many you can do. If you're feeling like you want to do all 9, do it. If you can get 3 done, do those 3. If you want to do 4 or 5, do those 4 or 5. See how many you have the energy for and the brain power for so that you're confident doing them. And then right here, remember there's a big white box, show your work. This one starts out by showing you the take from 10 number bond to get you going. Step 1 is to make this. Step 2 is subtract this. Step 3 is to add what's left over. So if you like this strategy, you can just do it for the rest of the ones in the problem set. And that you're going to try to do on Kami. If you prefer to do it on paper, you can work out the problems on a piece of paper and bring those back to school to me. When I see you on Wednesday, you can hand them over to me. All right, my friends, enough of me talking. I'm going to give you an air high five. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to say good work. Keep up the great work, 2W, and I will see you on Wednesday.